Welcome back to TigerDetails TV. I'm your host, Julie Boudwin, for another edition of Recruiting Corner. This week, we're joined by LSU 2024 commitment Tayvion Galloway, tight end out of Ohio, one of the first commitments in the 24 class, and we'll obviously get to that. But Tayvion, I really appreciate you taking the time tonight, joining me, and just chatting a little bit. It's been a minute since you and I have caught up, and I just kind of felt like it would be a good time to, bring you on.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you for having me.
Sure thing, babe. Just tell me a little bit about the commitment in 2022, July, I think it was, June or July. One of the first commitments in the 24 class. The class wasn't even really put together at that point in time. And now you've got your quarterback committed and Colin Hurley. You've got some other key pieces committed. Just tell me a little bit about your headspace all the way back in last summer whenever you made this pledge to Coach Kelly and Coach Denbrock.
So, initially where it all started is with my connection with Coach Denbrock. He started recruiting me whenever he was coaching at Cincinnati. He was the tight ends coach at Cincinnati. And ever since I met him, he's really just been the most genuine coach that I've met throughout like my whole recruitment. He was just the guy that I really bonded with the best, and I really just seen like, yeah, he really wants the best for me. And I can tell that's a guy that is more about football with. Like I can really build that family bond with him. And that's the type that's the type of coach I want to be coaching me. And then I definitely know that he has the skill development that I need at the tight end position because I've seen other guys that he's coached, and I
Right.
seen guys that he sent to the league and things like that. And then with Coach Kelly, everybody knows what Coach Kelly does with the tight ends, and that's really just a tight end built. That's a tight end built staff for real. Like that really that's really gonna be able to be good for me, and just I feel like that's really gonna exploit my talents, and it's really gonna show what I can do in that offense.
You've known Denbrock for a while. Like you said, this goes back to when he was on the Cincinnati staff. I
Yeah.
mean, when he got the job at LSU, how quickly did he reach out? I know you and I had spoke a little bit then, that you guys had been in communication, and finally the offer came. You came down, you visited. I don't think he was here when you first visited. I think there
Yeah,
was a
he
family.
wasn't there.
Yeah, so you came down and he wasn't even here, but it wasn't much longer after that they offered, you committed. Just talk about that relationship with him and truly how far back it goes and how deep it is.
Yeah, so actually, so as soon as he got the job at LSU, he actually contacted me and letting me know that he was going there. He told me he was going to recruit me from there. And basically, as soon as Coach Kelly gave him the go, he actually offered me. I was the first guy in the class of 24 that he offered, and
Right.
that just really showed me how much he really wanted me and the love that he continued to show me. And then I visited down there, and even though Coach Denbrock wasn't there, I got them at the rest of the coaching staff, and it was really just all love from all of them. They really showed me just a different type of hospitality, and everything that was preaching is was really everything I wanted. Like they was just showing that real love. It was real genuine love, and they wasn't just throwing all the other things that other schools try to do. Like they really try to recruit guys and try to just show things that's not how it really is. But like LSU, like they show you the real, and that's what I've always messed with. And they just the things that they preach, I just fell in love with the BK effect for real. Everything that he preaches, I can tell that that's what he's really trying to put into the program. And I think the players fell in love with that too, and that's why he was able to get success in his first year.
Right, right. And I mean, all of this really started. They were on you before some recruiting services. I think even before Rivals had you ranked. So it's not like they were looking at that kind of stuff. And you had some offers at that point, but your recruitment has definitely exploded since then. So for them to get in with you early, did that play a part in it at all? Along with that, like what you said, the BK effect.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely respected Coach Denbrock for offering me so early. But to me, the time of my recruitment, it didn't feel real early to me. I feel like I really took the time and evaluated the schools that had already offered me, and I don't think that there's any other school that I could really top LSU for me. That's just really
Right.
been the place I fell in love with, and I don't think any other school can show me better.
Tell everybody. I mean, you and I have spoken off camera a couple of times over the last, I guess, about the last year or so. And I know a little bit about you. Just tell everybody just your story, your background, where you're from, what motivates you, what gets you out of bed in the morning and makes you want to, do what you're doing. And you seem to be a very devoted and motivated young man.
Yeah, so I'm Tayvion Galloway. I go to Chillicothe High School, class of 24. I live in Chillicothe my whole life. I was born and raised here, and I feel like my biggest motivator is really just my family. I came from humble beginnings, and that's always just pushed me. And I feel like I've always had a chip on my shoulder, and I'm really blessed, and I've always been humble towards God, and I feel like that's really gotten me far.
Yeah. Obviously you're still getting some offers, you're still taking some visits, this and that, but we've talked a little bit about loyalty. And I think I've seen you in the past talk about, why commit if you're going to decommit, or things of that nature. And even though you may be taking other visits, I mean, that's your right, get your full experience. You're only going to be a recruit once in your life. But just talk about that loyalty. That seems to be something that really sticks with you. Like you mentioned, Coach Denbrock was on you for a long time, and that played a part in this decision. So where does that loyalty come from? Is that just something you admire a lot? Is it something, your parents instilled in you?
Yeah, to me, loyalty, that's really everything. That's really just what I was raised on. That's the morals I was raised on. You got to be loyal to who's loyal to you, and just the
Right.
lesson they showed me, and they always stuck with that loyalty. Like Coach Denbrock, he told me I'm the only guy in the class of 4 that he's taking, even though they recruited other guys. They're not taking any other commitments but me. So like that's just things like that. It's trust, and I hold them to that, and they hold me to that. So
Right.
that's the reason I fell in love with them.
Tell me about that first visit. I remember I texted you, I think, and you guys were driving, and it was quite
Yeah,
a long drive there and back.
yeah,
And you're coming down, you said April 1st, you're coming down again for another
yeah.
visit, right? Tell me
Yeah.
about that first visit. I mean, just that campus, the facilities, everything is pretty impressive. Just from
Yeah,
the outside looking in. But when you get there and you actually see it in person, and you're taking the pictures and you're doing the videos and all of that fun stuff, just, I mean, was it kind of a mind-blowing experience?
yeah, it kind of was, because it was a really amazing campus and amazing facilities that I was able to see. But like the biggest thing for me whenever I got there, it wasn't all the facilities and everything. It was really just that love that they showed me. Like as soon as I stepped on campus, like it was just nothing but love and hospitality. Like they made it feel like home, like
Right.
immediately. They made it feel like definitely like a place I felt like going to.
That Southern hospitality playing a
Yeah.
big part in it.
Yeah,
Um,
and definitely the weather and everything, just about being down south and
oh
the
yeah.
food. I'm a big foodie, so the food, that's a big plus for me.
Yeah, it's we obviously have some good food down here. The weather, we'll see how you feel about that in the middle of August for camp. It gets pretty hot and sticky down here
Yeah,
um, in the middle of camp. But hey, I guess it's better than shoveling snow in the winter.
yeah. I mean, I was down there for camp. It was pretty hot, but I feel like it's hot enough. I feel like I can handle the heat. That cold though, I don't know. I can't handle that.
Who are some other schools that are really been on you as of late? And is there any other visits that you know of that you're trying to go with teammates to, or just other campuses that you want to see this
Yeah,
spring? LSU.
right now I'm not as sure as the other schools I want to visit right now, but one of the schools that's been on me like the hardest is Miami. They
Yeah.
definitely been in my phone all the time. Coach Fields is always hitting me up.
What else is coming up for you as far as summer? I mean, are you going to camps during the summertime? I know obviously we were just talking about this as well. You obviously, with the laws in Ohio, you're not doing 7-on-7. You
Yeah,
guys don't have spring football, which is really unfortunate. And if anybody's listening, maybe the powers that at will sign that petition you were talking about, and maybe there's something that could be done, because obviously that just sounds um, it doesn't make a lick of sense to me, but that's maybe for another time. But so
yeah.
you don't have those things going on this spring and summer, but any other visits planned in the summertime?
I'm not sure right now as of visits, but I definitely plan on doing like the rivals camp, and
Okay.
going to a few camps this summer. I think the only school I camp at might be LSU. I don't know if I'll camp at any other schools.
I got you. What is the relationship with the home state team, Ohio State? What's that like? Have they offered
Um,
yet, or are they just communicating?
so as of now, I'm not in any talks with Ohio State. I have no interest towards them.
Gotcha. That's a big, that was a big thing for a lot of LSU fans. There's a lot of commitments from out of state, and the worry is always, if the hometown teams from the other states come calling, how will these guys stick with the commitments that you and I just talked about, loyalty? And you seem to have a really good relationship with Denbrock, maybe better than any other coach out there. So this
Yeah.
feels like something that will stick for you.
Yeah, most definitely. And I just think I'm an SEC football player. I want to play against the best competition because that's gonna make me the best player. Because steel sharpens steel, iron sharpens iron. So the SEC where the best football players go, and that's what breeds the best NFL players. So I'm an SEC football player. I believe that.
But speaking of SEC and getting ready for that kind of stuff, you obviously have another year of high school left before you get down to LSU. But have they suggested any drills, any things you're working on? You're obviously posting. I've seen quite a bit. You're always working, always looking to get better. Which you can never. There's always something to get better at, really.
Yeah.
But do they give you any tips, any drills, any feedback, anything like that for you to specifically?
As of right now, I'm actually waiting on them to send me some drills. I was just talking to Coach Denbrock not too long ago, telling them to send me some footage of what their players are doing so I can just get prepared. But right now, I just been really training and working out on my own. My uncle's been helping work me out, and also my trainer Darren Gamble, who's helped me with my recruitment. He's been working me out as well.
What are some things you want to work on? Some things you're hoping to get better at in the next year? Some things that maybe you don't do well that you want to do better for when you do arrive on campus in Baton Rouge?
Yeah, right now I've been working on getting a lot stronger, just getting faster, more explosive, and really just putting a lot of muscle into my body, not just putting on weight. I want to be really built, just to know I can have that explosion and be able to play with the physicality in the SEC. And I also just been making sure I'm getting my route running together, working on my blocking, just making sure I'm getting more technical and more sound for the upcoming season.
How does Coach Denbrock see you fitting in? Does he talk about certain plays, certain things that you may be able to do that they're not doing yet, or is it obviously they were rebuilding the tight end room this past off season, signed two guys this past off season, but you specifically in your skill set. I mean, is there early communications of how he sees you on the field?
So he's telling we just whenever we just talked not too long ago, we plan on watching film and talking more about how he plans on using me in the offense. But we've already had talks, and he said with me he's going to be utilizing the tight end a lot more and in a
Right.
lot of different ways than how he uses like Mason Taylor this year. Like Mason Taylor, he had a big effect on the LSU's year. But he said with me, he just plans on doing a lot of different things. I feel like I'm really just a threat all around in the passing game, but I feel like I'm also a tight end that can play a lot of downs. Whenever we're running, I feel like I can be a big blocker for us as well.
Right. What are some things in the next year? So do you have any upcoming goals? Last year high school, upcoming high school goals, and then maybe like in the next couple of years, some things that you want to get accomplished while you're at LSU.
So for my last year of high school, obviously, I'm trying to win that state championship. That's what any high school player wants to do before they get out of high school. It might be a tough road for us, but I definitely think it's possible for us to achieve as long as we just put our heads down and work hard through the off season and prepare for the season. And I definitely want to get first team All Ohio. I want to be Mr. All Ohio football. I want to win all the accolades because I feel like I'm definitely the guy that can do that. And I want to prove to everybody that I'm really just the best tight end in the nation. And I definitely think I can prove that, no doubt, as long as I keep working hard and preparing for the season. But whenever I get to LSU, I'm trying to make a big name for myself. Even my freshman year, even though they signed three tight ends in the class of 23. I definitely think I'm good enough, and I'm gonna work hard enough to be able to earn my spot and be able to get enough reps to make a name for myself my freshman year. And
Right.
I just want to keep improving from there.
Coach Kelly talks a lot about graduating champions. What do you want to major in?
I plan on majoring in business.
Okay. Okay. Let's talk a little bit more about that 24 class. We started the video off discussing that. Obviously, Colin Hurley is an important piece in that class. He's the guy that's going to touch the ball every time, the quarterback guy who's going to get you the ball. What's that early relationship with him like specifically?
As soon as he made the commitment, I was tapped in with him. I just been building my relationship with him ever since he committed. We're always talking, always trying to recruit guys. Just trying to build the best team we can. But we plan on linking up sometime in the future, just so we can just throw some balls and get some work in together, just so we can get ready for whenever we're there in LSU.
Is there some specific guys out there, some guys that you guys are targeting in hopes that they join you in Baton Rouge? Some other recruits?
I don't got any names off the top of my head right now, but the coaches are always sending guys through, telling us who they're trying to recruit. Guys who we thinking are really interested in us, and that's just the guys we go after.
Right. Is there anybody else in the class that you talk to as frequently as Colin?
Colin's really whoever I talk to the most, but I also talk to Xavier Debo.
Okay. What's obviously the goal for you? I mean, long term is NFL. Is there some guys out there, any NFL guys? I mean, obviously, we're recording this on Monday. The Super Bowl was last night. Travis Kelce had a great game last night. He has a great game. It seems like every week. Is there any guys in the NFL or maybe even other collegiate tight ends that you like to watch film of, model your game after, anything like that?
Yeah, Travis Kelce, that's definitely like the biggest tight end that I look at. Cause I definitely think whenever I get up to the next level, I definitely think I can be a tight end like him.
Right.
But I also look at guys like Tyler Higbee. That's another guy that I look at. But I like to look at a lot of different players and just pick little parts out that I feel like I can add to my game. Like one of my all-time favorite players is Calvin Johnson. I like to look at him sometimes and like look at things that I can maybe add.
Right. Well, hey, what's your before I let you go in a minute, what's your thoughts on NIL and how that's gonna just prepare you for the next level and maybe take some tension off, while you're in college. You don't necessarily have to worry about, certain bills or things being paid, maybe because you'll have a little bit of income coming in. How do you see that, changing the college game and even the high school game? Some states allow high school players, like here in Louisiana, if you're a high school player, you can sign NIL deals. Just what's your thoughts on it, and how have you seen it, changing things for players for the better, obviously.
It definitely changes things drastically because it really makes it more like a business. It's not really the same college football that college used to be. Now people are really choosing places just based off the NIL that they'll make and everything. But yeah, it's definitely good in a lot of ways to where players like I feel like as a football player in college, there's so many people watching you, and really the college is making so much money off you and your name. I feel like it's really right to the player to be able to make be able to make money off their name. So I definitely think it's a good thing. But for me, it's not really a huge deal for me. I feel like as long as wherever I go, if I do well and I do the things I should do, I'll be well off, and I feel like God's gonna bless me regardless. So I'm just gonna choose where I feel my heart's at.
Definitely. Hey, are you graduating in December? Are you signing in December?
Yeah.
Enrolling in January?
I'll be graduating in December and enrolling in January. Yes.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
All right. Well, anything you want people to know about you that we haven't covered?
I feel like we really said everything, but I feel like I'm really where I'm at because I was really just chosen and favored by the Lord, and I will always preach that to everybody. I'm big in my faith, and I always preach that.
All right. Well, you guys heard it. There's Tayvion Galloway, 2024 LSU tight end commitment. He's going to be back down in Baton Rouge for April 1st, a big recruiting weekend going on at LSU. So thanks for tuning in. Thanks for watching. And be sure to check us out next week for another edition of our recruiting podcast.
Yep. Go Tigers.